sadness, Oli London. Oli, thank you so much for being here. You can write about this and talk about this because this is in your recent past and history. What do you make of all of these major corporations putting a biological male, a transgender activist front and center and literally putting a sports bra on someone like Dagen Mulvaney and putting that individual front and center in front of young people?
Well, Dagen, I think it's totally insulting to women. There are so many incredible women out there that deserve sponsorships from brands like Nike. And the fact that Dagen is a biological man and he has made a career, a very lucrative career, from basically mocking women. He's done a deal with Tampax where he talks about menstruating. He's done various other brand partnerships where he's wearing women's items that, you know, a sports bra is specifically for women. So no, it's a complete insult to all of the people out there, the women that would be deserving of having these brand partnerships.
You know, Oli, if you're an adult and you want to transition, you know, to each their own, my concern, and I think you share this as well, is all the transitions that are happening with young people, with minors. And my question is, where are all the adults? You know, where are the doctors? Where are the corporations? Where are the social media companies? Where are the schools to say, you know what, we're here to look out for the kids, not to put them in a place where they can make a bad decision that could impact the rest of their lives that they may regret when they're adults?
Right, well, it's absolutely shocking. We're seeing it across numerous US states, including California and Oregon, where 15-year-old girls are having double mastectomies. They're having their breasts cut off in the name of gender-affirming care. And it is incredibly harmful because we have to consider that so many of these teens are going through their teenage years, they're going through puberty, they are confused. Some of them might generally be gay or lesbian, and they're being told that they're in the wrong gender. So, you know, the adults around them have a responsibility. And what we are sadly seeing is many states you have teachers, educators and woke school districts that are teaching kids from kindergarten about changing their gender. They even have sex education classes in some schools for very, very young children. And then we're seeing a push across popular culture. We see, you know, shows like RuPaul's Drag Race. We see TikTok, which is really driving this gender ideology trend. And there are many teachers pushing this. There are many clinics. There's 60 pediatric clinics across the US that are pushing this. They are profiting from it. And the Biden administration has made it very clear this is their top priority to make this normalized.
And we're going to actually talk about that, Oli, later on in the show. There are some states, Indiana and Idaho, now the latest states to ban gender-affirming care for minors. The list is growing. Some courts have put stays in place in places like Texas and Arkansas and Alabama. But how do you see this progressing? Because we had long conversations today in terms of where brands particularly rush to throw money at someone like Dagen Mulvaney. And women, biological women, are not allowed to be upset about that. Your voice is silenced, and I'm over half a century old. And I said, I spent my life being told as a woman, I'm not enough. I was never enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't pretty enough. You know, my hair wasn't shiny enough. I wasn't skinny enough. And that was always the message from advertisers. And now I'm not enough. I'm not woman, you know, I'm being defined by, you know, I'm a chest feeder, and it's deeply offensive, but we aren't allowed to say that because, again, we get shut down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen women fight for their rights for hundreds of years. You had the suffragettes movement in the 1910s where women had to fight for their right to vote. They had to fight for equal pay and other rights as well. So all of these women that have fought throughout history, all of their hard work is now being undone because what we're seeing now is women being forced into silence. Any woman that complains of a biological man entering their safe space, whether that be a spa or locker room, the woman is actually deemed transphobic and the woman is the one that is vilified and targeted with hate. We also see women's rights campaigners that do very peaceful rallies. We saw in New Zealand recently a women's rights rights activist was violently attacked and almost killed by a trans mob simply because she was demanding that her spaces were protected. So we're seeing this real push to almost erase women's rights. We're seeing dictionaries now changing the definition of women. It used to be adult human female. Now it's anyone that identifies as women. So, you know, it's a huge insult for women.
Oli London, thank you for joining us. And by the way, if you want to know more about Oli and his journey, you can get his book. Also, he'll tell you about the dangers of TikTok. Get your kids off. If the U.S. government doesn't ban it, get your kids off it. Oli, thanks for speaking out and being so brave. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.